For our project of storing and retrieving data, we have decided to create a relational database for a franchise of bookstores that operate in different countries. First, we created an SQL script to create our database tables. The bookstore franchise database is designed to manage various aspects of bookstore franchise system. It handles everything from book inventory and sales to client details, store management, and employee records. This database structure ensures that all information is interconnected and easily accessible, supporting efficient management of the bookstore chain. The core of the database consists of several key tables that store essential data. The book genre table categorizes books into different genres, with each genre having a unique genre ID and a genre name. This allows the system to easily filter books by genre. The author table stores information about the authors, including author ID, author name, and author age. Each book entry in the book table references the author ID to link a book to its author. The rating table holds rating information, with each rating having a rating ID and a rating description. Books in the book table reference this table through the rating ID. The book table holds information about individual books, including their book ID, book name, release date, book language, price, and relationship to other tables. The book table links to the book's genre table to define the genre of each book, to the author table to identify the book's author, and to the rating table to assign a rating to the book. Next, the country table manages information about countries identified by a country ID and country name. The location table is linked to the country table and stores detailed location information such as street address, zip code, city, and the country ID it belongs to. This table ensures each store physical location is recorded properly and makes it possible for multiple locations to exist in one country. The store table contains details about individual stores in the franchise, including the store ID, store email, and the foreign key linking it to a location table to specify the store's physical location. The stock table is used to manage the inventory at each store. It links the book ID from the book table with the store ID from the store table and stores the quantity, the stock, available in each store for each book. This table uses a composite primary key of book ID and store ID to ensure that each store's stock is uniquely tracked per book. The client table stores client details including client ID, personal information such as name, phone number, email, and date of birth, and links to the location table to specify where the client is based. The employee table holds information about employees working in the stores, including employee ID, personal details such as name, phone number, email, date of birth, salary, and links to both the store table, indicating which store they work at, and the location table, indicating the location of the store they work at. The sale table tracks sales transactions with each record containing a unique sale ID, the sale date, and sale rating, and foreign keys linking to the client, employee, and store tables. This table records which client made the purchase, which employee processed the sale, and at which store the sale occurred. The sale table also has an attribute rating so that the client can give a rating to the overall experience of the purchase. The sale details table provides a breakdown of each sale, linking the sale ID with the book ID and specifying the quantity of each book sold in the transaction. Finally, the log table keeps a record of database operations such as user actions or messages, including log ID, timestamp, event type, and a message. If we run this script, our database tables will be created. If we go to database and then reverse engineer, we can see our diagram and the relationships between the tables. Here, we can have a better understanding of our database. Now, for the triggers, we decide to create two different triggers. A one after insert on the sale date table to update the stock of a book after a sale is made, and one on the sale table to create a log entry every time a new sale is added. Let's start with the sale after insert trigger. This trigger is set to execute after a new row is inserted into the sale table. Its purpose is, like I said before, to create a log entry every time a new sale is added. First, it captures the current timestamp using the now function. Then, it records the user who performed the action, retrieved with the user function, and next, it sets the event type as add to indicate a new record was created. Finally, it generates a custom message using the new keyword to reference the new inserted row, and this message includes the sale ID and the store ID that made the sale. Now, let's move on to the second trigger, sale details update stock after insert. This trigger updates the inventory whenever a new sale detail is added. The goal of this trigger is to reduce the stock of a book in the correct store after it's sold. Since the sale details table doesn't store the store ID directly, the trigger retrieves it from the sale tables using the sale ID field. When a new row is added to the sale details table, the trigger runs automatically. It finds the store ID related to the sale by checking the sales table, and then it updates the stock table to subtract the quantity sold from the correct book and store. So let's run the script and see that our triggers were created successfully. Now it's time to insert some data into our tables. We created this SQL script to help us introduce data into our tables. Here we defined some authors, some countries where our stores will be located, some book genres, some ratings, some locations of our stores, some books, clients, employees, and stocks of further books, and also sales and sales details. First, we can check that our tables are empty before running a script, and when we run it, our tables will be it is gonna be full. So here we inserted some data into our tables, and now we can check, for example, the book, that now it's filled with data. Now, to check that our triggers are working correctly, we'll create a new sale and also a new sale detail, and see that the log table is gonna be updated, and also the stock table for this specific book is gonna be updated. First, let's see the log table, how it's looking. Here we already have some sales that we created previously, and also on the stock, here we have the stock for all the books for every store. We are gonna be changing this book, the book ID 1, for the store Barcelona. So here we are gonna create the sale for Barcelona, and then after we're gonna create the quantity of the books. We are gonna reduce the stock by 2 for the book ID 1 of that store. So let's run this. Now, if I update the log table, we are gonna see a new log appearing. Here, the new log appeared for the new sale, and also if I update the stock, this is gonna be reduced by 2. Here, it reduced from 38 to 36. This shows that our triggers are working correctly. For our 5 business questions, the first one we decided to answer is, what's the total revenue by store? The second, what is the top 5 most sold books? The third, who are the top performing employees? The other one, what are the monthly sales trends by store? And lastly, who are the top spending clients? If we run this script, we can see the answers to our questions. On the first query, we can see the total revenue by store. On the second one, the top 5 most sold books. On the third one, who are the top performing employees. The fourth one, what are the monthly sales trends by store. And lastly, who are the top 5 spending clients. We created 2 views to generate an invoice from data stored in multiple tables. We created 2 views to structure the invoice, one for the header and totals, and one for the details. The first view, invoice details. This view pulls the information related to the details of the sale. It includes sale ID, book name, and unit cost, the quantity of books sold, and the calculated total amount for each book, price times quantity. The second view is used to generate the header and the totals for the invoice. It includes the invoice number, date of issue, and the client's information, name and address, the subtotal tax, 23%, and total, subtotal plus tax, the company's name and the store address, and the store email, and also a message to thank the customer for their purchase. If we run this script, we can see our views being created. Here we have our views. First, let's check invoice details. Now let's check invoice add totals. This concludes the demonstration of our project. Thank you for watching.